Hey guys, let's kick off this new channel with a video that we're all gonna be looking forward to. A book review. So I am reviewing Three Dark Crowns. I'm not going to say the author's name because I don't know how it's pronounced and I don't want to make anyone mad. Anyway, beyond that, Three Dark Crowns. So pretty much all the back says right here has a really creepy but really pretty poem. So it says, "Three dark queens are born in the glen, sweet little triplets will never be friends. Three dark sisters, all fair to be seen, two to devour and one to be queen." So by that alone, you know that somebody's probably gonna die in the book. So yeah. I would just like to say that I thoroughly enjoyed this book. It was amazing. Um, it uh, it has a really good world building so far, and the way it ends, it leads you to believe that there's going to be another book after it. So if there's like any unanswered questions, I would think they would be answered in the next book, if there is another one. If not, then, it's just kind of an incomplete, but, it wasn't really relevant to the characters, so it really wasn't relevant for you to know, because, and to be honest, most books have questions like that. Stuff that, you're never gonna find out, so, hello, fanfiction. But other than that, I mean, the world building is fantastic. There's, the powers that they have are actually really well thought out, and when you're reading the book, you're like, okay, so this person has this power, and this is what it basically means, and so the four main powers, technically there's five, but we're not gonna get into the fifth one. Like, I'll say what it is, but it's very interesting. How they kind of discard that one for a very good reason. So there's the poisoners, who they can get bitten by a snake, they can eat poison, and they're fine. And that is actually really cool to, like, be able to go and not die, basically, which is awesome. And they have the naturalists, which are, they can make flowers bloom, they can, like, keep plants alive, but they also have their animal familiars, and they can call out to animals and kind of control animals. They don't really control their familiars so much because they're their familiars. They just, I mean, they're their friends basically. They're not pets, but they're like familiar, obviously. I'm not very good at describing things. And then there's the elementals, which, if you don't know what an elemental is, then I will educate you. I'm not the person who should be educating anyone. But an elemental is basically anyone who can control the elements. Water, earth, wind, fire. The one sister who is the elemental can even call storms and control lightning, which is awesome. Come on, control lightning. And then the fourth gift is the war gift. So basically, they're all about war and fighting and killing, everything like that. But, not in, like, a bad way, I don't think. Nope, none of the characters had a war gift, so we don't really know much about it. And then the fifth gift is Oracle. They see the future. And pretty much very few people have that gift because it tends to make people go crazy, and if anyone has the gift, they're, well, like the queens, if the queens have the gift, they tend to be drowned at birth. Which sounds horrible, but you don't want an insane queen to be ruling your country, so maybe it sounds horrible, but I would go with it if only for the fact that the people in charge are scary as heck. But beyond that, so it starts out with basically the poem. It's the three triplets are, they have their particular gifts and they're raised and trained to control and learn about that gift. And then when they turn 16, they are then set against each other, and two of them are killed and the other one tends to rule. Well, let me tell you something about this book. It doesn't quite go that way. It is pretty much a wild ride from start to finish, and there are a couple of twists at the end, and you're like, oh, why would you do that? And wow, did not see that coming. So, this is all me with trying to do this without spoilers, so it's kind of hard. Other than that, I would just like to say that, just the fact that this country, island, whatever you want to call it, is very woman-centric. It is ruled by women. Like, there are some important male figureheads, but everything is ruled by women. Like, they call it the king consort. He's really just a figurehead. He is not all that important. It's the queens who rule, and it's the queens that everyone cares about. That's literally it. And pretty much all the women have the power everywhere because in their temple, or basically their religion, everything is ruled by priestesses. So no guys allowed. So it's very awesome to read something that is so, like, female positive, and it's just great. It's so great. I'm sorry, it's snowing outside and it's making me sad. I don't like snow. So, yes, female-centric, but also, so a couple of times, the subject of sex was brought up, because it's young adult fiction. What else are we gonna talk about? Come on, we're all teenagers. Or, well, they're all teenagers. I'm not a teenager. But basically, it's actually, it doesn't condemn sex. It really doesn't. So, that was pretty cool to read something where it was, you know, they weren't giving somebody a hard time for it, and it was pretty much a thing. It didn't matter to them, or at least it didn't matter to them on the island. The mainlander boys who would come in and be the king consort, some of them would probably care because the mainlander boys are supposed to be us out here. Except I think somewhere back in history, but it doesn't really say when. And the whole, you know, no sex before marriage, and so they're expecting everyone to be a virgin, but pretty much people on the island, they don't care. Which is pretty cool. If only for the fact that it doesn't condemn sex, so it just shows it as something that is natural, and people are gonna do it. It really doesn't matter what you say to someone sometimes. They're gonna do what they're gonna want to do. So yeah, it was very I thoroughly enjoyed the book, and let me tell you, it is a wild ride from start to finish. I don't know if I said that already, but it merits repeating if I already did. It is a wild ride from start to finish, and I think that anyone who is interested in anything about, fights to the death, and who gets to rule, and mysteries, and, plots of who's going to rule and who's going to try and take control, because as important as the queens are, everybody else has their own agenda of who they want to sit on the throne. So there's that. So, anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and happy to do this again. I'll be back with another one pretty soon. Bye guys.